Zach, thanks. When we go to a doctor with a medical issue, we expect there to be a cure. But what if there wasn't? What if our symptoms progressed each day with no help? For the millions of people with rare diseases across the world, doctors' visits still leave questions and hopes for a cure. In honor of this Rare Disease Day, a man who's devoted his life to serving others in the Ohio Valley is sharing his story. He's kept it private for some time, but feels advocating is the best way to make sure others find the answers they may need.
Rare diseases are common. There are 300 million people with rare diseases. And it's just that there are many, many different rare diseases.
One disease called RVCL is exceptionally rare. There's about 60 known families that are impacted across the country. One of them has ties to the Ohio Valley.
The disease ultimately creates extreme fatigue. When people ask me what it's like, I kind of compare it to what somebody has with severe COVID. They talk about they just can't do anything. That's almost a daily feeling for us.
While many know Jeremy Harrison for his advocacy for veterans through Helping Heroes, he and his family have been fighting another battle for several years. Jeremy and two of his brothers, Jesse and Jody, were all diagnosed with RVCL. All three had kidney issues and knew something wasn't quite right with their health. But it wasn't until Jesse got his vision checked that questions turned into answers.
He was starting to have problems with his eyes, so he went to an ophthalmologist who actually had worked for a period of time with the doctor that had discovered this disease.
That chance appointment led to genetic testing and ultimately a diagnosis. This was in 2021, just as a clinical trial was getting started.
It just so happened that when they came in contact with us, there were 17 people in the study, so they were looking for 3 more. So they got me, my brother Jesse, and my brother Jody.
They all ended up in a clinical trial at the University of Pennsylvania under the care of Dr. Jonathan Miner.
They have disease involving the brain that looks very much like multiple sclerosis, or they can have eye disease that looks like diabetic eye disease. And they can also have kidney and liver disease that mimics other diseases.
RVCL is a genetic disease that affects the blood vessels.
The mutation they have causes their small blood vessels to be damaged, and they end up losing blood flow to parts of the retina and the brain and other organs.
Jeremy's brother Jody died last summer from RVCL, which is why he remains determined to advocate for other families who need answers, just like his.
The disease had progressed to a point where there's really nothing they could do about it by the time they figured out what it was.
We don't know yet whether it will be effective, but the hope is that it will slow down the disease.
There is no treatment or a cure for RVCL. Dr. Miner said that slowing down this disease will buy the time to develop personalized medications specifically for the patients with RVCL. One local hospital